got it a little later than usual, so we shall see him shortly. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Yeah, welcome back to the show.
What?
This is the episode 392 of the two Dum Yinzers. How you doing this morning, Mike?
It's great. I thought you were going to say this is the episode where Mike gets fired. I'm holding out hope one of these days.
For what this time?
I don't know this time. I don't know. I'm sure we can think of something.
Yeah, I seen the highlights of this game that Derpy was talking about yesterday about the World Series, Little League World Series. Oh, there he is. It was climactic all the way. Okay, listen. Derpy told us about the walk-off home run, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, the California team, they were up 5-1. And the international team hits a grand slam to tie the game 5-5. A grand slam over the fence,
Ooh.
And then our guy comes up from California and he hits the walk-off homer, but it was like so much more climactic than what Derpy was explaining.
Yeah,
yesterday.
I know, right?
Good morning, Derpy.
Good morning.
There was so much to it. It was like the most amazing game ever. I seen the highlights. I'm thinking, this is what happened. This is everything that happened.
Like Derpy, you got to work on the. You got to work on the. What am I going to say here? You got to work on that, bro. You got to make it sound a little more exciting than what it is, man. You're killing us.
Man, it was amazing. Like I said, they were winning. We were winning 5-1, and they loaded the bases and they hit a grand slam, dude.
I can see. Here's Derpy. Here would be Derpy at historical events. Yep. Lincoln gave a speech. Martin Luther King gave a speech.
JFK took a ride in a car.
Yeah. Ronald Reagan said something about a wall. FDR said something about fear. Yeah.
Oh, man, Derpy. It was an amazing game.
I was actually hoping the international team would win, but I'm glad with what we got.
Derpy.
You were hoping for the international team that you can't even pronounce. Why did you want them to win? I have to know.
Because it's harder. It's harder to get there than United States, even though it's pretty hard in the United States.
Yeah.
From what they have, they don't really have much in those countries in a national side.
So it would have just made you feel better if they would have won.
Yeah.
All right. But anyway, Derpy, geez Louise, this game. I couldn't believe it. I'm watching it, and everything just got better the whole entire time I'm watching. Like I said, it was climactic for quite some time, and it was almost amazing because, as I said, as I'm watching it, I knew how it was going to turn out.
Mm-hmm.
I kept thinking, no, there's no way that there's another walk-off. That must have been the home run because it was such a big part of the game, And Derpy brushed right over that, but that's all right, Derpy. That's all right.
Oh, Derpy. Yeah, some guy was nailed to a cross and walked out of a cave.
Yeah, right.
Some fat guy was spitting wisdom.
Yeah. Let's touch on this other baseball because the Pirates did have a good game. They did win. Pirates won 5-0 yesterday over the Royals, moving their overall record.
It's the Royals, though.
9-73. The Royals, however, are 41-92. Let that sink in.
That's why they won.
Hey,
Pirates are 59-73.
We're nothing to write home about either.
Think of how not good that is. 59-73. Okay. Then think of this: 41-92 with a whole month left.
Yeah. The Buccos aren't that good either. So, this is like two scrub teams going at it. And hey, I would take us being the best scrub team there is.
At 15 and a half games back at this point in the season, the Pirates managed to get 12 hits to the Royals 2. Key Brian Hayes goes 4 for 4 with a run, a walk, and an RBI. Rivas and Bay both get 2 hits in this game. This is Oviedo's best game of the season by far. Oviedo pitched a complete game, 9 innings, gives up 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. No player reached second base all night for the Kansas City Royals. Game 2 of 3 today at 8:10. Pirates pitchers yet to be announced. The Royals are throwing left-handed pitcher Cole Reagans, who's 5-4 with a 3.66 and 71 strikeouts. My thing was, how even if the Royals are bad, like look at this Cole Reagans. I don't know anything about him, but I'm looking at he has a 5-4 record. Zach Greinke, who pitched yesterday, had a 1-12 record. But it showed he's been in the league. They said he's been in the league for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And his fastball, I mean, he got it right around 90, but a lot of times you were seeing 79.
Yeah.
A speed that I was seeing quite frequently in this game with Zach Greinke. But Derpy hit it right on the head. I mean, this Royals is a really, really bad team. That's probably the worst team we faced all year.
Yeah, them and the Reds. But right now, this Royals team's bad. But you know what? So are we. You know,
for Oviedo.
I'm just happy
it's actually
we have
not
we
as
can make
bad
fun
as
of.
you seem.
Oh, it's
Derpy,
bad. It's real
Derpy,
bad.
our
Because
team is bad.
Worse.
We played
Oakland's openly tanking. We're under the guise.
Well, we managed to lose a game.
Rebuild.
Oakland. I can't imagine that we're going to lose a game to this. I just can't imagine. But again, we are the Pirates, and I won't be surprised if it does happen. But Oakland woke up in our series for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So.
They're
the only team eliminated so far.
No, we're eliminated. I don't care. I don't care what the papers. Listen to me, Derpy, not the papers. Okay?
Yeah, the Buccos stink, Derpy. Trust us.
If there's anybody in the press industry that thinks that the Buccos should not have that asterisk by their name for being eliminated, they should be fired from their job in the media, because it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. But this Royals team was real bad. As I said, Mike, Oviedo went complete game, 2 hits, shutout. Come on.
Hey, you know what? Tip of the cap to him. 8-13.
Absolutely.
8-13 on the year for this Buccos team. All right. He's the 39th ERA in the NL. Okay, that's not bad. 39th best pitcher giving up runs. Not no strike.
Right.
He's a nice piece of the staff. If we had like a good team around us,
he'd be a nice 5.
He'd be a nice 5, nice 4 pitcher. But this team sucks. It's hard to judge some of these pitchers because, God, if we had run support, that would be nice. He would be a nice number 5 pitcher. But
if we had our Mitch Keller, Paul Skeens, Quinn Priester, somebody else, and then Oviedo, that could be a nice rotation to look forward to sometime down the road.
In his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8 starts, he only has 2 losses. He's come on strong this last half of the year.
And you know what? You're right.
Because at one point he was 3-11. Now he's 8-3. He's really rebounded this second half.
Yes, he has. So let's hike it across the parking lot. The baseball field to the football field. The Steelers released more. I'm just going to go with this list that I have. It's what I found. There may be more after. I don't know. But we do know that they did release Tanner Morgan, quarterback. They released Tanner Muse, the linebacker. Lavert Hill, the corner. Manny Jones, the defensive tackle. Offensive lineman, LaRaven Clark and William Dunkel. Running back Darius Hagan. Safeties Jalen Elliott and Kenny Robinson. Kenny Robinson's from Wilkinsburg, as a matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
And linebacker Toby Nwuku. So these people here got cut. 17 more after this is to be cut by today at 4:00. Today at 4:00 is the deadline to get down to your 53-man roster. We will know today. We'll watch the players go through waivers, see who comes back. A couple of these guys I'm reading will more than likely be on the practice squad. A lot of talk about Tanner Muse if he makes it through.
Yeah.
Talk about Kenny Robinson.
Yeah, I thought he would have he would have been a dark horse to make the team. Robinson.
Yeah.
Not Robinson. I was thinking of Thompson. One of the safeties who was cut the other day.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're on Kendrick Green watch is really what it is. Everyone's waiting with bated breath to see if Kendrick Green makes this team or not.
That's so
what
true.
I want to know.
Kendrick Green is still on the roster, everybody. This is the mystery. We're gonna have to wait this out to see till 4:00 what happens with Kendrick Green. One of the reports that I read did have him more than likely landing on the practice squad. But again, we don't know. He hasn't yet been. Kendrick Green is still a Steeler at lunchtime on Tuesday of the day of the deadline.
I don't get it. Like I was talking at work. It's like he's the legacy. He is Kevin Colbert's lasting legacy of this team. Like he's not going to be let go until his contract's done. I don't get it. He's the everything that was wrong in the last half of Kevin Colbert's career. Picking someone that we just they played like 4 snaps at center. Of course they can play that position. We're going to take overvalue someone's athleticism because we're going to quote unquote project them to be this stud. And he was a swing and a miss. Reminds me of Matthias Kiwanuka. If anyone remembers that left tackle from back in the day.
Yeah.
One of the worst picks ever. It's just, I was doing good until we started talking about Kendrick Green. Now I'm angry. Because what we could have had Creed, like for an organization that prides himself on centers, we had Creed Humphreys, who was, people were saying was going to be like the next Marquise Pouncey, the next Jason Kelsey, and we just pass on him twice
for Kendrick Green and get Kendrick Green.
Yeah, we got Najee, we got Freiermuth.
The big selling point on Kendrick Green was he could do everything. He could play center.
Turns out he can't do anything.
He can't do anything.
He can't. He can't. Like even when they drafted him, like this guy from Illinois. I only saw him play a couple times, and it was not impressive.
I'm willing to bet if they do keep him around, if he's not cut today, they're going to keep him around for some of that backfield story that we've seen about him a couple weeks ago.
But that would be the only use for him.
We didn't see him in preseason in that capacity, so that's interesting. No. Unless they're trying to keep it on, on the down low, sneak him in a game. Let's just say in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we're playing the Browns, and it's 24-23. And if we get a 2-point conversion, and stick this Kendrick Green in the backfield. You know what I mean? Who knows? Who knows what they have up their sleeve? If they use him in that manner, I'm okay with it. You run into the issue, of course, of the spot, the spot on the team.
Yeah, like it's just, I don't know, because you trade Kevin Dodson. We actually got good value for Dodson. I like that trade, but if we trade Dodson and end up keeping this guy, I just don't understand the philosophy of that. Kendrick Green he can't even play center. He can't play guard. He can't do anything well. So it's like, why keep him on the team?
Yeah,
it's just. I just don't get it. I'm trying to understand why they're keeping them, but it's just, I don't know. It's bugging me.
P on the board says, imagine spending 8 weeks trying out and getting your ass kicked every day only to get cut. Got to be delusional to be a pro athlete. And that's what it is, P, because I was talking the other day. You could be very close to the big break. You could play your whole life. You could play football, through termites, through high school, college. You get to this point where you're in the camp of a pro team and you're about to, and you could blow a knee, and guess what? That's your career, because now you had an injury and there's a million people right behind you waiting to take your spot. So trying to be a pro athlete, it's crazy, especially for a physical sport like this. The reward, I guess, is so great that it keeps people going, because the small percent that actually pulls this off and gets to these spots, that's the reward, the money, everything that comes with it. So I agree. I agree with what you're saying personally, but on the other hand, I think we get it as well. And what, the ones that make it, they're, that's why you do it. And then there's everybody else,
Yeah. No, I was going to say, it has to suck for these guys. Like today is going to be the worst day in football. Like you read, like,
press releases.
Yeah, like you're going to be. Yeah, this could be like the last time you ever play football.
Yeah,
you have maybe you catch on the USFL, XFL, CFL, but man, for playing, most of these kids have played since like 7-8 years old. Whew.
And you know what? It's just, as long as you have insurance, I guess you're okay, because you're going to make an honest earning. You're going to make good money. Comparable to what the rest of what everybody else in the world's making. You're not going to get the the millions and the accolades and everything that comes along with somebody who works in the NFL and whatnot. But if you want to still pursue your dream and still do what you love to do, I mean, it's there now. These outlets are there, and I hope they continue to grow and give these guys more opportunity, because it's a shame so many people that have such a high skill at one particular thing has to just give it all up after, as we said, this point today. I mean, a lot of these guys won't have their name on the back of their shirts ever for the rest of their lives. So I would like to see the outlets continue to grow, the XFLs, the USFLs, leagues like this, so these guys can continue to work their craft and get paid for it. And so that's only thing we can hope for at this point. Guys, Mike, here's a question I have. I was watching some highlights from the last game. As you recall, there was a nice pass to DIONTAE Johnson down the left sideline.
In the basket.
But my point on this being, did it cross your mind at all? Why didn't DIONTAE continue to run straight down the field? Because even after he caught the ball, caught control of his body, there was a safety coming. I understand that the corner was trailing him, the safety was coming, but I thought if DIONTAE could have, would have tried, turned on the speed or tried to get upfield, he could have got 10 to a touchdown, 10 more yards to a touchdown. I wish somebody would just sit down with him and talk about these kind of things, because maybe that's what's going on here. I thought to myself the other day, I said, all right, well, this is what happened in preseason. This guy did this guy did this. Wait a minute, DJ didn't even get in the end. And then I went back and I started watching video. What happened? Let's see. Let's take a look. And it just makes me think, if he would, instead of run out of bounds a lot of times on these catches, which he does, try for the extra, give that extra effort. Maybe he'll find himself in the end zone more. You know what I mean? Is that
or it could be, or we just like trying to like nitpick him too much just because we know what he can do and what he didn't do last year. Another series of
games, he still hasn't found the end zone when other people have.
Over a year.
I don't understand.
It's preseason. I'm okay with it.
Which would be a good time to get some good practice and to maybe do these things.
Yeah, but you don't want to take a hit from a safety in preseason. I'm trying to remember the play. I remember the catch and how he got it. And I know what you're saying. It looked like he did gain control to where he could have cut back, outside.
He could just continue to go straight.
Yeah. Unless he caught it, got control, but thought he was still, how sometimes your head, the equilibrium just isn't there quick enough. And then you think you're going one way, so you just go that way anyway, even though you're going straight. That could have been going through his mind, or it's like, hey, I got my catch and I got us the first down. It's preseason. I'm not.
That's my concern. That's what I worry about. I want to see the extra given by DIONTAE Johnson.
When he gives the extra, he ends up running backwards. So I'm okay.
Well, that's what I'm saying. A lot of times
with him not doing extra,
he gives you a good play, but a lot of times with him, it's the bare minimum. And with something like this, if he would have tried to continue the play, I don't know.
I think we might be I think we might just be nitpicking. No, if it
I think we're nitpicking
season,
him. Yes, I do agree. We're nitpicking him, but I don't think that nitpicking him is such a terrible thing. I think there's a lot worse things that are being nitpicked on this team at the time.
This is we're trying to find something to like you said, like if that's our biggest issue though, I'm okay with it. But it has been a year since he had a touchdown, which that is concerning. But I think he'll end up with like 7 touchdowns this year because he's just too good not to get into the end zone. Last year, one of those years
to us, because we're going by hearsay. If I started watching football a year ago, I have no idea who this guy.
But he's been in the league for what 4 or 5 years now.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. If I sat down with a friend the beginning of last season, the Bengal game at the bar, and he taught me about football, I would watch this team all year, all the way to this point. I would know that DIONTAE Johnson was not that guy. That would be the facts to me.
Oh, then I would say, hey, listen, he had a bad year. Look at what he did the previous 3 years. So it's a.
So I wait around all season long comes and he doesn't score, and then the preseason comes. I think, all right, he's got us. I mean, he's going to score now. This is practice games. And it still doesn't. I'm just saying he needs to go that extra yard. That's all I'm saying.
In preseason,
Mike, he caught everything. It was 17 games last year. Is what I'm saying. It's 20 games. 20 games. I don't care who you are. You should have a touchdown somewhere.
Yeah, but 3 of those games don't count. 3 of those games don't count.
If he would have gotten the end zone, what I'm saying, I would have counted him for what I'm talking about. I would have said okay, he scored a touchdown. I'm saying in 20 games he hasn't scored a touchdown. That's what I'm saying.
I agree with P. If I'm not going extra in preseason if I'm already on the squad.
That's why you're not in the NFL. These guys work hard to get where they are. They work hard to get in the end zone.
You get in. When you've been in the league 4 to 5 years, you get in.
Worked his ass off to get that touchdown that he scored.
He's an undrafted rookie free agent.
Harris worked his ass off to get in the end zone. And guess who else? Also, McFarland worked his ass to get in the end zone. You have a starter, you have a guy trying to get there, and you have a guy who's probably not going to be here too long. These guys all work their asses off to get that extra yard to get in the end zone. All I'm saying, this guy, there has to be an answer for what's going on. That's all.
All I'm saying is he had like
I know
receiving yards, receiving catch.
Face, and no matter what I say, isn't going to.
Everyone wants to act
all
like
I'm
he's
saying
never
is
done
guy
anything in the NFL.
Push himself a little more because he hasn't found the end zone in 20 games.
And one season that mattered. Preseason doesn't matter. Preseason.
Mike, what I'm saying for what the conversation we're having, he hasn't scored a touchdown in 20 games. It don't matter if it's backyard football. It don't matter if it's in the office. What I'm saying in 20 games, he hasn't scored a touchdown. That's the point I'm making.
Yeah, when the games start to matter and then he starts doing stuff like that, that's when I'll be really.
Don't you think DJ should have come out and tried to prove himself in the preseason?
He caught everything thrown his way. He proved himself.
But you're really dancing around what I'm saying. Shouldn't he have tried harder to try to score?
No, that was a really good catch that he made on the sideline. It was a big chunking game. It was a great play. It was a great play.
This is where people try. They try hard. It's a physical game. And you know what? If you're listen,
if he tried hard and broke a tackle, but ended up having to backpedal 3 yards and getting tackled from behind, everyone been yelling that he ran backwards for 3 yards after a 40-yard game. So.
You really have nothing here, so I'm going to move on because it's
every time we bring up DIONTAE Johnson, I cannot bring up his track record of being a very good, productive receiver because we only want to look at one game or one season,
20 games in a row. 20 games in a row.
No touchdown.
But we're not going to look at his entire career before. Then we're just going to.
I'm talking about what have you done for me lately? Yes. If a guy hits 20 home runs for you 2 years ago and he hits 2 this year,
and that shows a track record that he can be proven. That shows that
or he gets worse
last
every
year
year.
Was an anomaly.
There's no record saying he's going to get better. There's no record saying that this is going to get better.
Last year,
20 games is a long time. That's 20 hours you have to score a touchdown.
His numbers have improved every year until last year. Last year was an anomaly.
Which is the most recent year.
It was an anomaly.
What have you done for me lately?
Anomaly. In statistics, we would, that's called an outlier. The statistics, that's an outlier. So you're look at everything
Mike,
else.
I don't care because you're the only person who's on this side. You're the only person on that side of the track.
Because it's a logical thing to say.
It's not like that's a very dumb thing to say.
No, it's not like one.
What's a logical? You guys are stupid and I'm the smart one. Get the fuck
I'm not saying that.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. That is something to try to play. Listen.
No, what you're doing, you're creating an argument out of thin air.
No, I'm telling you, the last season and the 3 opportunities he had this season, he didn't play hard enough to score a touchdown.
He played hard.
Why didn't he have a touchdown? Everybody else had touchdowns. Everyone's
numbers went down last year.
Why did
point that out? Everyone's numbers went down. FREIERMUTH went from 7 touchdowns down to 2
last year. Did anybody tell me that? Did anybody find the end zone last year? Yes,
they found it, but they found it at a
find the end zone in preseason this year when everybody's numbers is up. Yes, everybody did. They found DIONTAE Johnson.
Oh my God! If this guy fought for yards last year, trying to make people miss and would lose yards, where did he hurt you?
By the balls?
I just look at his stats. I just look at his stats.
He's proven nothing over the past 20 games. 20 games. That's 17, that's two
one season
for different players.
One season that counted.
20 total games played. Don't matter. Again, I'm counting the games played for what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and I'm saying like his entire career, he has shown out his entire career. His 5 touchdowns his first year, 7 his second year, 8 his third year.
Yay, DIONTAE, you did good before. We're not going to get any production
on the receiver on the team.
Okay. Yeah, I love this guy. Moving forward.
680 yards, 923,
1182. DIONTAE, look at you, 683 yards. Number one receiver. You are just on top of the game,
646 yards in his career, 20 touchdowns in 4 years. That's a damn good start to your career.
5 touchdowns a year for a number one receiver. None last year. Yes, that's amazing, Mike.
He's going to get heat until he gets that off his shoulders.
Randy Moss and Jerry Rice numbers. Now, Mike, we really have to move on.
Better than 7 touchdowns and 9 interceptions.
Okay, he was a rookie. Anyway, Mike, you're really taking it outside the lines because this guy hasn't done. He scored no touchdowns. At least the other guy did. So anyway,
Mike, the other guy was the reason why he didn't have any touchdowns.
No, he was not the other reason because
that's why Freiermuth went from 7 touchdowns down to 2.
You know what? Freiermuth sucks, and he's going to get cut eventually because Darnell Washington's going to be better anyway. But
weren't you just sucking, slurping on Freiermuth, saying no tight end has had a better 2-year period than Freiermuth?
Because he hasn't. But when it comes down to physical size and what you really look for in the NFL. Darnell will take his spot one day. Mark my word.
Oh, okay. So no, Freiermuth sucks from here on out. Okay.
I'm saying he's going to lose his position. Listen to what I'm saying. Okay.
He's going to lose his position.
You need me to talk a little slower so you can understand what I'm saying.
So he's going to lose to someone who
has he's eventually going to lose to Darnell Washington. Yes.
Nah.
He has no size. He has nothing.
No size.
Oh, okay.
He can.
That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do in football, but not according to you.
No. DIONTAE Johnson had. I just read his stats, man. He had some good numbers, but we don't want to take that in.
Like how many times? Okay,
you Freiermuth 6'5", 258 is tiny. Okay, yeah, he's tiny. He sucks.
There we go. All right, so
if you went to Pitt, you'd all love him.
They're landing in Hall of Fame, and so we can have that argument too.
They can't win anything. Once they're last year,
the Heisman running, the ACT champion. Where's Penn State been in the past 30 years?
We're playing in New Year's Day games.
Who cares? Nobody cares about that pedophile.
Nobody.
No one cares about New Year's
Day
pedophile. No one cares about Pitt.
Nowhere.
Pitt
nothing on their uniform.
Pitt is so good with all these super conferences being filled.
Loser.
How
what a
come
loser school Penn State. That school
no one has tried to take a
school
from the ACC, which is funny. Everyone wants to join the Big Ten and the SEC.
Nothing on their
uniform. No one wants to do anything to do with the Pitt or the ACC. It's just funny. If Pitt and the ACC were so good, these super conferences.
It don't matter what the ACC. Penn State doesn't want to play.
Them away.
Guess what? West Virginia even has balls. They're going to play Pitt.
Penn State offered to play Pitt a 2-for-1, and Pitt said no. So they were scared and ran away. Because Penn State won.
Penn State's been hiding from Pitt for 20 years.
No, they haven't. They've been right there.
Screw that school, man. You know what? Most people would agree with that too. So. Mike, we really have to move on.
Do we have to? This is fun.
Josh Dobbs actually will likely start at Arizona at quarterback. When we were talking about that last week, who is Arizona's quarterback? Josh Dobbs is looking like he's going to be the guy under center.
This is tanking at its finest by the Cardinals.
When you thought Arizona couldn't get any worse, the way they're
Kyler Murray's out. Actually, yeah, he has a ACL injury.
Yeah, he's injury bound and he's injured. But Josh Dobbs is more than likely to be the starter, guys, which is interesting. Let's see. I gotta get ready to wrap it up here, guys. This one is one that I thought was going to get more of a spark. Is surveys show, get this, 35% of Steeler fans would not date a fan from a rival team. Now, this is where the true Yinzerism sets in.
Yeah.
Because if this is what football is doing in your life, then you're definitely off track. If you can't date a person because they like a different football team. I mean, I agree. You find things that you have in common with people. You find things that you don't have in common with people, and you see what you have. But 35% of Steeler fans would not date a fan from a rival team.
That's just.
I thought the number would be higher, to be honest with you.
Me too. How crazy the Yinzers are, but I'd date a Browns fan.
I'd get a massage from one, I guess.
Well, yeah. They were apparently very good at getting massages,
Quan Alexander says there's going to be no drama. He is more than willing to give up his number 26, who he shares with the running back McFarland. They both have number 26. Quan says, being the new guy, yeah, no problem. I'll change my number.
Yeah, he wants to wear a single-digit number.
More than likely. That's what I mean. He did in New York, so I'm sure that's what he'll go to.
Do you think we make more moves for the cuts or the final spots?
Maybe.
They're gonna take a look at who's been cut. That's what they always do. Maybe he was available for a trade.
Some more Yinzer news. This one's for the Yinzers. Steelers now lead the NFL with the longest winning streak in the preseason. We mentioned that the other day after the Ravens got knocked off, and then they lost 2.
No thanks to DIONTAE.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. What did you say?
I said no thanks to DIONTAE.
Oh, ain't that the truth? But these guys here, They're 6 or 7 games. The Steelers are now the preseason champions. So there you go with that. One more thing, Chris Boswell, I wasn't aware of this. He has the 4th highest made percentage on field goals in NFL history. So anytime that we worry about what's her face over there, Justin Tucker, just know that he's the best. But we got the 4th best in history. So you know what? He's in that same percentage.
Oh yeah, well, that's what I say, man. We have a lot of good kickers. We have Tucker, Boz, McPherson down in the Bengals land, and then whatever the Browns are doing, drafting a kicker, then they cut him, then they trade for a guy who was about to get cut.
Yeah.
Definition of the Cleveland Browns right there.
I'm going to jump in the ring real quick before we get ready to wrap it up. Guys, this week, the WWE, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they're fighting the Judgment Day guys, that Priest dude and Finn Balor, in get this, guys, in a Pittsburgh Steel City street fight. It was called last night. I was watching Raw, and they said this. It was pretty cool for them to say. They said, and Michael Cole went on and on and on and on about Pittsburgh, and he kept saying, Pittsburgh's the Steel City, So that was pretty cool to see as a Yinzer. But yes, the match between those two tag teams this Saturday night at Payback is called the Pittsburgh Steel City Street Fight. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
No, it's not a real Pittsburgh Steel, street fight unless there's a couple Yinzers just wandering around in the background.
Yeah. Like stumbling to the side.
Trying to talk about it on KDKA.
I'm sure that'll happen.
Sally Wiggins out there.
Michael Cole knows what he's talking about. He'll make sure this happens. Mike, why don't you tell everybody about the website, man?
Oh, dumyinzers.com. Head on over there right now for everything you need. Dum Yinzers, and within a week or two, maybe it will have a fancy new look. When Ryan's not busy yelling at me about DIONTAE Johnson, I'm busy in the background working on a new website.
That's how, the ship I run around here. Guys, this is going to be a San Francisco 49er trivia question. And I think you're going to like this. Whether you get it right or wrong, this is an interesting one. Are you ready for this, guys? P on the board. Check this out. Which 49er player opted to have part of his finger amputated rather than to miss any regular season games? Which 49er player opted to have a part of his finger amputated rather than to miss any regular season games? Think that over, guys. If you need some choices, I will give them to you. We are live, everybody, 7 days a week, Monday to Sunday, every day, right here at 11:30. And also, if you would rather check us out in podcast form, the show that we do new every day gets uploaded at 8:00 p.m. on Spotify, so you can check it out over there on podcast form. Go check it out, guys. The question today is this: it's a 49er question. Which 49er player opted to have part of his finger amputated rather than miss any regular season games? Does anybody want choices?
Nope.
Derpy?
I do.
Okay. So let's start with Mike. Mike, who do you think it is?
Ronnie Lott.
Ronnie Lott. Interesting choice. Is that going to be your final answer?
Yes.
Derpy. Which 49er player opted to have part of his finger amputated rather than miss any regular season games? Derpy wants choices. Derpy, your choices are this: Roger Craig, Hardy Brown, Ronnie Lott, and Steve Young. Let me read them to you again. Roger Craig, Hardy Brown, Ronnie Lott, Steve Young. One of these gentlemen decided to have their finger amputated rather than to miss any regular season games for the San Francisco 49ers. Derpy, who do you think it is?
There's a lot of great choices, but I'm going to go Ronnie Lott.
You're going Ronnie Lott as well?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Derpy, Ronnie Lott. Looks like P on the board has also picked Ronnie Lott. Give me one moment. I want to pull up the fact sheet real quick on this because it's even more fascinating than the question is. So, all right, guys. Which 49er player opted to have part of his finger amputated rather than to miss any regular season games? Everybody: Derpy, Mike, P on the board. Everybody says Ronnie Lott. The answer, of course, is, guys, Ronnie Lott. Check this out. Ronnie Lott had the tip of his left pinky amputated after the 85 season when it was crushed while tackling running back Timmy Newsome. And a bone graft surgery would have not allowed him to start the 1986 season. Although another injury sidelined him for the season's last 2 games in 86, he still led the league with career best 10 interceptions.
That's dedication.
That is dedication.
That's what Deontay Johnson needs to do. Deontay Johnson needs to
cut his fingers off. That's what Deontay Johnson needs to do.
Cut his tip of his pinky finger off, and he will score 15 touchdowns this year.
Now you're talking.
See, now we're talking. Now we're having fun with Deontay.
Isn't that such a crazy? You know what? I didn't know that.
I knew that. Because
I watched that season. Maybe I didn't know.
Every time they had like a Fox game for the back in the day. When San Francisco would play, that's all you would hear about. Oh, Ronnie Lott cut his finger off. John Madden. All right, Summerall, have another drink. That's and
then he led the league in interceptions. That's a football player that I like.
Yes.
Mike, you got anything before we get ready to take off, man?
Oh my God, I got nothing except I want more Deontay Johnson. I want more Pat Freiermuth, and I want more Kenny Pickett antics on this show.
Hey, you want it, you got it here, baby.
Heck yeah, baby. We'll fight over players that we love for no reason. Just
Derpy. Anything before we get ready to take off?
If Pierre doesn't make it, bring in Desmond King or Bradley Roby.
All right. We got 3.5 hours, guys. 3 hours and 29 minutes. And you will have all the final cuts in the NFL made. The deadline 4:00 today. If you want to keep your eye on that. Pirates back at it tonight. Game 2 of 3 at Kansas City at 8:10. And as I said, we're watching. We're watching to see who's going to make this team, who's not going to make this team. And I want to see if Deontay turns up them Jets, man. You know what I mean? Maybe you're right. Maybe he thought to himself it is preseason.
Yep.
I'd like to see in the season if that in fact changes or not. So, anything else, guys?
I got nothing.
All right. Well, hey, man, we appreciate each.
Wait, I got something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Apparently, a wedding is more important than a birthday.
Oh, it shouldn't be. You're being wronged here, Derpy.
Also, Stairway to 7.
All right, we'll have to get more into that tomorrow. I like the argument. I like where you're going with this, what you're up to. But we'll update it more tomorrow. We want to thank everybody for checking us out. We appreciate each and every one of you. We appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Yes,
to Dum Yinzers, Derpy, Mike, myself. Everyone have a great day.